and it's time to do our draft for today. The schedule's been out since April, but as the season is upon us, now is the time to predict the best games of the season. And this is very open-ended. There's 256 to choose from. We will go back and forth. Chris, as always, we have this beautiful three-shot here, the coin in the middle. Call it in the literal digital air.
How does it feel to be the third most handsome guy on this graphic right here?
Just
tails, 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 tails. Woo!
There you go.
Just crown me now, Stats. It's over. See ya. You guys want to just cut to commercial? Because this is not even worth watching. Domination. Here we go.
Well, we've already proved that over and over again.
Easy first pick. I'm going to take thy fans to week 9, where thy Aaron Rodgers will be playing thy Tom Brady in New England. That is what I'm excited for. What? That's all I got to say. 12 versus 12? I mean, it's GOAT versus GOAT. And we have only got to see this one time before in Green Bay a few years back on a 4 o'clock game in the afternoon on a Sunday. And it was a pretty awesome game that day. And I expect the same. But yes, we have not seen Aaron Rodgers up in New England in his career. The last time the Green Bay Packers went up there, he was hurt for that matchup. So that is my number one. I just can't wait to see that. It's two of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. I know some people think I don't like Tom Brady because I won't say he's the greatest of all time. I'm such a bad person.
No, it's
but
because
I really
you
do
say
like
he
him.
cheated.
What?
That's why people think you don't like him, because you say he cheated.
Well, yeah, he did. He took the air out of the football. He should have admitted that because he was awesome in Super Bowl 49 2 weeks later, and he showed us that when the air is properly in the football, he is pretty amazing.
Well, look, that was the no-brainer top game of the year. It's an NBC game, Sunday Night Football, coming up week 9. But, you know, this one is a close second. I will concede that because you guessed the coin toss right, you got the clear-cut number 1 game of the year. A game that we talk about from time to time, a game that still resonates, a game that helped derail the Steelers' season. The Steelers and the Patriots getting together in Pittsburgh, Week 15, just like last year. It was a great game last year. It will be a great game again this year, and it may go a long way toward determining where the rematch happens, if the rematch happens. Last year, the rematch didn't happen, I think in part because the Steelers knew they were going to have to go to New England. They had no chance there. They have to beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh to have a chance to force the Patriots to come to town, to have a chance to get past the Patriots, Chris.
It certainly will be monumental for the AFC playoff picture. We get that, and it's going to be a big matchup. I think you could have done better. I've seen better.
All right, go ahead. Then take it. Take the one I should have taken, boss.
I'm going to take one right from this week, week 1. Okay? We got John Gruden versus mini John Gruden. The Rams and the Raiders. I just can't wait to see that. One, because the Rams have all these star players that we've yet to see play, so I want to see that unveiled. John Gruden's run like 4 plays the whole preseason, like the same 4 plays over and over, so I can't wait to see his offense. I mean, he's done nothing. I think he's going to unleash the kitchen sink on everybody on Monday Night Football, and I mean, this is his protege in a Sean McVay. I mean, have you ever heard? Look at Gruden. There's Gruden with the Chucky eye. There's McVay. Look at that. They're like twinsies sometimes. You ever hear Sean McVay talk? I sometimes don't know if it's McVay or Gruden who's talking if I couldn't see who it is. So I am truly intrigued by this game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, it's the Raiders back in Oakland. John Gruden, Chucky's back in town, and it's Hollywood, LA coming up. So I know it's week 1, but I think it's pretty damn good.
But don't you think the Khalil Mack trade takes a lot away from that game?
I mean, it certainly takes a little bit. There's no doubt. But I don't think the Raiders' defense was ever going to be the theme of this football game. So I don't know. That's why. But I like the coaching matchup. I think it's personal. I think what do I want to say? The teachers want to teach the student a lesson.
Or what's the old line from the old police song? The servant becomes the master, or something like that.
Or
I will
that
turn
could be
your
it
face
as well.
to alabaster. When you find your servant is your master, you'll be wrapped around my finger. You were probably like in diapers when that song came out.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Of course, you never do. All right, you got the right idea because there are going to be some great NFC West, AFC West games this year. You picked the wrong one, though, because I am going to go south of the border.
I've never heard you sing.
Mexico way. Mexico City. The Rams and the Chiefs.
What were you doing there?
The Rams and the Chiefs getting together later. The Chiefs are what the Raiders wish they could be this year because the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. So that's the better game. So you blew it round 2, Chris Sims. Give me that Mexico City game, Rams, Chiefs. And there's going to be some people in L.A. saying, hey, they want us to come to these games. Why didn't they leave this one at the Coliseum? This is the one to see. You're going to have to go to Mexico to see it.
I got that will be a good game, certainly, because you're riding this Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you're going to ride this till you die, huh? That's what you're going to do. Just any game he's involved, you want to tune in.
Because when he's a star, I will never shut up about it.
Yeah, we know that. That is true. I still think he could have done better here. Man, I got so many games to choose from, and I'm dominating so badly right now.
Then just pick the next one. Surely you've got number 3 on your list. If I've screwed up 2, then you should be able to get 1, 2, 3. So go ahead and take it.
Yep, I'm going to take it. I'm going to go to Week 16, Steelers versus Saints. You know why I like this? Because, well, it's Chris Sims' Super Bowl 53 matchup. That's why I got my eye on it. I think we're going to see a preview very late in the year of what we could see in the first weekend of February. But the Steelers, we know they're a team on the mission. Their defense, I think, is extremely good. Yes, I know Le'Veon Bell's not there, but the offense is still really good, too. They're still going to be one of the 10 best offenses. I don't care if Le'Veon Bell plays this year or not. And I think they're the cream of the crop in the AFC. And I look at the Saints, and I go, man, one of the best offensive lines in the sport, Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, Sean Payton, and their defense has some young studs on it too. I think we're seeing a Super Bowl preview right there in Week 16 leading into the playoffs. That game itself could have implications of a 1 seed or a 2 seed affecting if either one can get to the Super Bowl. So that's one I got my eye on for sure.
Well, there was a playoff game last year here in Philadelphia, the NFC Championship game. The final score suggested a blowout. The reality is it was a lot closer than that. It was a few plays here or there early on that went the wrong way for the Vikings, the right way for the Eagles, and the next thing you know, the game was over. But this year they get together Week 5, and we know there's going to be one different quarterback in Kirk Cousins, and there's probably going to be 2 different quarterbacks because I think Carson Wentz will be back by then. So it's going to be a very different game. High stakes, though, for teams that are trying to position themselves for division championships and potential playoff byes. This is one of those games that's going to echo into January when it comes time to figure out who is going to be playing at home, who's going to be playing on the road. And the Vikings are going to come in here, I think, determined to try to rectify what went wrong for them in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, and I do think that the interesting thing with that football game is, is Carson Wentz back in the fold at that point? Is that going to be his second game back, his first game back? What will it be? Where are the Eagles going to be at this point? So those storylines are all in the fold here. Yeah, I mean, I get you. I can't even hate on you with that pick. That's a pretty good one. I mean, pretty. Do we want to go one more round?
Yes, we do. This is too close to call.
Well, I'll go first. Man, gosh, there's 2 games that really jump out to me.
Well, pick one.
Okay. I got to go with the Steelers and the Jags, Week 11. I got to do it because, I mean, especially with Jalen Ramsey saying Ben Roethlisberger's, overrated and all of those things. And I just look at the Steelers are going to go, are you kidding me? They're going to go down to Jacksonville. I think they're going to feel cheated. The Steelers are used to bullying football teams. That's what the Steelers do. And they were bullied twice last year by the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I just think that will set itself up for really one of the most physical, hard-hitting, best trash-talking, best end-zone dancing, interception-picking type of football game we could see this year. It might not always be pretty, but we're going to see a lot of old-school physical football.
I know what you were torn between. You went with one AFC playoff rematch. You left the other one on the shelf, and that would be coming up just next week. The Jaguars and the Patriots get together again. And these rematches, I think, mean more when it's early in the year. I think it's easier to pick up the fumes of the last time the teams got together. You get deep into the season, it's not as important. Early on, Jags-Patriots. The Jaguars had that game won. They were up 20-10. There was the bad call on the Miles Jack forced fumble where it should have been ruled in real time, a fumble and a touchdown. The Jaguars got possession, but they didn't get the 65 yards they should have gotten. Much easier than what Blake Bortles could have earned for them, which was not nearly 65. They ended up having to punt, and that opened the door for the comeback. That's a huge game, and the Jaguars are going to have a major, major chip on their shoulder to try to finally get past the Patriots.
Yeah, the Jaguars had some matchups on here. I wanted to pick the Jaguars like 3 or 4 different times. I mean, this week, we could have picked the Giants-Jags this week with just the Jalen Ramsey Odell matchup and all of those things in it. Here's the other one I really wanted to pick, Mike, was the Rams and the Chargers, the battle for L.A. in Week 3. I truly am intrigued by that. I mean, I was out there a few weeks ago, and I do think there's a part of L.A. people who are still kind of trying to figure out who they want to root for. Some feel spurned by the Rams.
The Raiders,
that they left
that's
down.
who they root for.
I found that out, too. That's what was crazy. You're right. Some of them do root for the Raiders. So, but I do think this battle could go a long way into swaying that in-between fan. That would have been maybe if we had a 5th round, that would have been my pick.
Well, no 5th round. Based on 4 rounds, stats, what do we have?
This was very close. I'm giving Mike the edge because not only did you pick good games, Mike, I like the storylines that went along with your games. Patriots, Steelers, a rematch of that controversial finish that you've been talking about all show. Vikings, Eagles is a playoff rematch. I like that. Chris, you have good games, but you don't have as many juicy storylines as Mike does. So, Mike, I'm giving you the slight edge. Congratulations. You win.
Do I get to take home Rocky? Is that the trophy for today?
Does it matter?
We should make this the PFT Live Draft trophy. I just keep it all the time.
You know, I got no problem with you winning the draft. I got a problem with stats logic sometimes.
What's the problem?
Well, I mean, no storylines. Let me see.
I said better storylines.
Whatever.
We'll talk about it next.
You always have a problem with stats logic when you lose, and I have a problem.
I want him to open up that without going, this was very close. I want to hear him do that one time without it. That's what I want to hear one time.
But it's supposed to make you feel better. It's kind of like your participation trophy.
It doesn't make me feel better unless I win. I don't care.